Thank you everyone for being here. My name is Lainey Bryant and I'm the Executive Director of the BC Association for Community Living. Our organization, along with a number of family organizations, realized that we needed to do something collective to tell the story about waitlists. So we joined together for a campaign, and this is really the culmination of the campaign. Our desire was to influence the budget, which is coming out on March 17th. Because we want to see the waitlist addressed. And despite government's statements to the contrary, we have had very few investments in services for children or adults. And by way of example, we have over 950 babies who have developmental delays or disabilities waiting for some kind of support from the development program across BC. 950 babies and their families waiting. We have over 450 children waiting for supported child development services. Just because a child has a disability means that they are not getting access to child development services and daycare and preschool, and that's not good enough in a province like ours. So our campaign was to tell the story and to gather in a way that will help all of us collectively across the province, because there's, of course, thousands of people across the province who are unable to join us here today. So the outcome of the campaign was that we had over 800 people join our Facebook. We had more than 600 emails sent to the Premier through our website and countless more sent individually. We had countless faxes and telephone calls out to the Premier, to our MLAs. We had large meetings in a variety of communities across the province. So people did great in telling the story. Today, we have 3 parents with us who are going to share their story with you about this. I'm going to introduce all 3 of them to start. Directly on my left here is Kevin Lusican. Kevin is a father and
of 2 children.
2 children, one of whom has a disability. Rochelle Sherinsky there, and Dean Listoria. And I'm going to ask Rochelle to start first, please.
This is our waitlist story. My son Nicholas graduated from high school in June 2008. Nothing happened in Nicholas' life from that date until December 1. He received no support from CLBC except a yearly respite amount of $2,800 that I used up in a month. Is this right? Is this fair? Is this possible? You would not think so. Yet, the answer seems to be an astounding yes from this government, because this situation, our situation, happens to hundreds, if not thousands of families across BC. The Premier promised us the best support system for people with disabilities. Whatever system he had in mind, I can truly say it failed us. It failed our families, it failed our children. Families have been used, abused, and betrayed in this process. Because if I were to give up Nicholas to government care, somehow they would find the money to support his needs. And that money would amount to close to $12,000 a month. So why can't they find the money needed to support us, families, so that we can support our vulnerable children the best we can? I remember Nicholas' graduation ceremony over 6 months ago. You know how parents feel proud that the child finally made it? You know, that they finished high school, they're going to become responsible adults. And we were, in a way, very proud. But we were very anxious too. We have an older child, Michael, who is going to UBC. During his last school year, Michael applied at different colleges and universities, was accepted at a few of them, and he chose to go to UBC. Nothing of that sort happened to Nicholas. Not only he had no choice, but he had nothing. Full stop. I remember the principal's speech, how powerful and moving it was. She mentioned how proud she was that her new graduates were now ready for life beyond high school, how they are now prepared to be responsible adults and good citizens. They have been groomed to take their new place in society. What was she talking about? She certainly was not talking for Nicholas, because Nicholas was not prepared, he was not ready to leave high school. In fact, nothing was in place for him after high school. Again, he was failed by the system, and together with him, hundreds of other students who would be dropped out of the school system, with nowhere to go and nothing to do. Nothing happened in Nicolas' life for the next 6 months, and I have been told we were lucky. Many have to wait for years. Between June and December 2008, we took him to the mall every day, we took him swimming twice a week, we had to pay for a full-time caregiver out of our own pockets because we couldn't do it. Then, putting our personal finances in jeopardy. And I had to put aside any personal plans to have a life of my own. This situation added enormous stress to my personal life, to my health, to my marriage, to my finances. Like I said before, our family was used, abused, and betrayed. And the one most betrayed of all by this is Nicholas.
Yes.
Had he committed a crime, he would be in jail. He would be fed, entertained, he would have caregivers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week around him to keep him safe, right?
Yeah.
And all this at taxpayers' money, right? Better like this. I am not a politician. I don't know everything. I don't have all the answers. I just want to say enough is enough. Something needs to be done, and be done soon. I want Nicholas to get the support he needs to have a good life in a welcoming community. I want every student with disabilities about to finish high school to be offered choices, just like every other student. And if he wants to be a school dropout, fine, that should be his choice. But I do not believe that it is either fair or right for the system to drop him out of school, just like that. And if after 19, our kids have no program to go to, then parents need to be paid to look after them. Because we have been told over and over again, at 19, your child becomes an adult, everything changes, legally he's not tied to you anymore, so legally we are not obliged to look after him, right? About 68 students with disabilities have graduated in Vancouver since June 2007. They are all facing some sort of waitlist. Nicholas finally got into a day program in December because someone passed away. So they had a vacant space. Hallelujah! What else can I say? This covers 6 hours of his day. He needs 16 hours of support. This waitlist story is not an exception. It is actually the rule. For the past 3 years, all students with intellectual disabilities have been in some sort of waitlist for services. This situation is wrong. It should not happen to our child, nor to anybody's child. I just have one last request. Can the Olympics be put on a wait list, please? Indefinitely. Please. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.